Hello everybody, how you doing today? Well, here it is. Got our deep state ready to go. Are you ready? This is going to blow your mind, I swear to God. It will blow your mind. All right, let's get started. There's an organization. I was watching MeidasTouch, and Michael Polpok was on, and he was talking about an organization called the Center for Renewing America. Remember it, because they are dangerous. They're all of Trump's old hardcore bootlickers that was in his last administration. And this organization is like a shadow government, and they're already gearing up. So so if he gets elected president, the U.S. government will make the Moose Knuckle dictator for life. Scary. So the dumpster that is Trump has this secret shadow government in exile, just chomping at the bit for when and if he gets elected. Please don't let that happen. Madam Karma put in an express lane for that asshole, please, and thank you very much. So anyway, now all his past cronies, many of whom have already testified in grand juries in Georgia, Washington, and D.C. about election fraud, because they were all in on the fake electors and trying to disavow the election and January 6th, a whole bunch of it. So anyway, the deep state bullshit, if the Mango Moose Knuckle gets elected in 2024, will align itself with the likes of Putin, Erdogan, Viktor Orban, Kim Jong-un, all the stars, right? All his, what he calls the smartest men on the planet, strong men, right? Now his star-studded cast of deplorables are planning on getting rid of all independent agencies, such as the DOJ, Federal Trade Commission, Securities and Exchange Commission, IRS. If they investigated him or any of his buddies, count that organization gone, and whoever the person was is going to be prosecuted. Well, they're going to try anyway. So if they made fun of him, investigated him, they're next. This is his plan to be president for life. So no more checks and balances on him. The executive branch will be totally wiped out. There'll be no more executive branch. He wants to rewrite the Constitution, get rid of the State Department. So there goes all the embassies for people traveling around the world. Forget them. They'll all be disbanded and abolished. This is his plan to be president. No more checks and balances on him. They will also take over the Treasury and impound the money and use his presidential power to eliminate funding for policies, agencies, and social programs that he doesn't like. Now, it looks like Hitler and Mussolini's ghosts are rising faster than you can even blink. This was already tried under the Nixon administration. But Congress turned around and said not only no, but hell no. That's not going to happen. Well, guess what? That was the dress rehearsal. This won't be. Here are the sitting fellows of the Center for Renewing America. These are dangerous conspiracy theorists and power-hungry sycophants. So, they were subjects, targets are already testified. Remember that. And he wants these guys in because he's just a pissed-off little narcissistic child that lost a T-ball. And that's how he's behaving. He's self-entitled. And if he wins on day one, will be doomsday for democracy. Mark my words. Okay, so the first guy he has in Trump's box of tools is the former head director of the Office of Management and Budget, Russell Vought. And Trump said about him, he did a fabulous job in my administration. I have no doubt he will do a great job in continuing our quest to make America great again. He's also the founder of the Center for Renewing America, with Trump's full-hearted approval, no doubt in my military mind. Now, the second guy is the head of presidential personnel, and they all call themselves, they're fellows of the organization, like they're important or something. It is code for, if the Mango Moose Knuckle doesn't like you, you're fired. Ask Chris Krebs. John McEntee. That's right. He was deputy president who rose to power at the exact moment when democracy was falling apart. Jonathan D. Carl. Anyway, from the Atlantic, they labeled the Gestapo Stasi for Donald Trump and the enabler for Donald Trump's worst instincts. Yeah, McEntee just sat there and fed off all Trump's bullshit and patted him on the back to make him spew more. He was a loyalist to remove people Trump didn't like anymore, especially between November and January. You know the time frame when the coup was being developed and planned? Yeah. He was the guy in there whispering in Trump's ear. So the next guy we have is Jeff Clark, who was almost the Attorney General of the United States if it wasn't for some smart friggin' people that said, oh no, if you do that, your whole cabinet's resigning today. So he's the senior fellow and director of litigation. The Center for Renewal of America, and tried to pressure swing states. The Justice Department believes fraud occurred for them to do something, and this was on DOJ letterhead. An environmental lawyer with no experience in any type of law, period. But oh yeah, he tried to pressure swing states, saying that the Department of Justice believes fraud occurred. But it didn't, because it was never proved. In 64 frigging court cases, they won something in Pennsylvania on a technicality, but they refiled and lost again later anyway. So the next guy we have is Ken Cuccinelli. Remember him? Senior fellow for Immigration and Homeland Security. That should scare the shit right out of you. He was acting director of Homeland Security when December 18th was at the shit show at the White House there with Sidney Powell, Mike Flynn, discussing suspending the Constitution and imposing martial law and seizing election equipment. Ken Cuccinelli, right? And the next guy they have is Kash Patel. My God, that man is dangerous. He's the senior fellow for national security and intelligence. That ought to scare you even more. You ever heard him speak? And he was the deputy assistant to the Moose Knuckle, given limited immunity and pled the fifth for his Queen for a Day. He pled the fifth. Also subject of Jack Smith's investigation. Now, John McEntee, he'll be the new head of the American Gestapo, pretty much. This will be a fundamental reordering of the civil service process and the executive branch and agencies unlike anything you've ever seen before since FDR. Agencies like these are not there for the conservative right-wing values. They're just going to screw over the rest of America, and they're going to smile the whole time they're doing it as they friggin' goose-step their way over every friggin' state. Now, this should make you start noticing all these little thing maggots are doing. Don't pass it off. Don't look away. These are all part of the failed dress rehearsal coup they tried January 6th, 2021. Pay attention. They are gearing up for their opening night. And you know what? His government, just like he told the Proud Boys, is standing back and standing by. Yes, sir, we're waiting. So maybe you should remember the Center for Renewing America. America's just fine. It doesn't need to be renewed. So anyway, take care. Naughty Nana loves you. Be good, be safe, be good to you. Got another one I'm going to do later on. Love y'all. Take care of you. Love it. Hit the subscribe button. You're already here.